through a combination of cost optimization, right sizing, orphaned resource cleanup, all of this stuff, pretty significant enterprise client, we save them $2.5 million a year in their Azure spend.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Microsoft Playbook. Today we're talking to Lance Waidzunas, our manager of Azure Support and Services, and we're talking about Azure capacity issues. Lance, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, my pleasure, Tipper.
Okay, so give me the overview here. What's happening in the market with Azure capacity? I understand some of our customers and obviously other folks in the Azure ecosphere are having trouble expanding their Azure footprint at times.
Right. Yeah. So 5-6 years ago, things happened, and everybody decided they needed to move to the cloud, and we've all kind of stayed there in one way, shape, or form. And Microsoft has been adding capacity as they can, but now people seem to be ramping up consumption. So that is causing a lot of their resources to be dedicated to those services, which means they're pulling them away from our traditional Azure infrastructure. Because they're doing that, they can't add physical capacity fast enough. And so clients are now finding they want to spin up new resources, or they want to expand their footprint or scale up or out. And Microsoft comes back and says, can't do that, sorry. And so they're basically putting them into a pretty tricky situation.
What is the specific error message that folks are seeing?
Typically what they'll see is either the operation has failed, or there's not available capacity, or please open a support ticket. That's what a lot of clients end up seeing is, we need to get a support ticket from Microsoft. They'll do that, and Microsoft might come back and say yes. The ticket could circle the drain for months or longer, or they could come back and say, sorry, that capacity is just not available.
That's frustrating. So if I'm a Microsoft customer, what options do I have?
Well, you can sit and wait, which obviously is a tactic not many people want to do. You could pivot your workloads to a different type of infrastructure, a different SKU, something like that. A lot of our clients are coming to us asking, what can we do in the meantime as we wait for Microsoft to hopefully get this done. We're trying to help clients pivot workloads to a different generation of CPU if possible, or potentially move from infrastructure to platform as a service, which utilizes different types of compute kind of behind the scenes. Seems to be a little bit more available. Switching regions too, because a lot of this stuff is region dependent. So if you build everything out in one region, in that house never gets any bigger. The more people you stuff into it, the worse it's going to be for everybody. But maybe if you can pivot from that region to another one, and sometimes there's architectural discussions there, but that's something that we help clients with day in and day out. So there are options. That's the important thing to know.
From Microsoft's point of view, when are they projecting there to be some relief from an infrastructure standpoint?
That's going to be regional. For us in the US, 2027 is looking like the first point of true expansion. There's a US East 3 region going live down in Atlanta, which will have additional capacity across all of the Azure services. Now, that region was supposed to open in 25, and so now 27 is the target. I don't know if that's going to change or not. I hope it doesn't, but that's probably the first time we're going to see the pressure valve kind of being relieved a little bit.
Or at least we hope so. I mean, one would anticipate that cloud consumption is just going to keep increasing.
Yeah, I mean, we were having a discussion earlier. There's AI in our microwaves now. Where's that getting fed from? It's getting fed from a data center somewhere. So whether or not it's needed, it's getting shoehorned into everything. And I don't think that's going to subside anytime soon. In fact, I think it's only going to start scaling up even more. So I don't foresee, even if those regions expand and go live, we're still going to kind of be running into the same problems, because the big guys are going to step in and immediately chew up 80-90% of that capacity.
Well, I would think then from a best practices standpoint, it would then be required to do a better job doing your due diligence and making sure that you're on top of your consumption. What does TrustedTech offer to assist our customers in that way?
Well, the biggest thing that we offer, especially as part of our certified support, is our Trusted Advisor program. Trusted Advisor is a way for us to align our expert resources closely with our clients. We're able to almost go as far as onboarding into their environment and being hands-on, assisting them with these issues. We're able to provide rapid response to stuff where, normally a ticket needs to be open, falls through the queue, maybe within 24 hours you hear back. With Trusted Advisor, clients are able to directly on demand communicate with Tier 4 plus subject matter experts anytime there's a question, comment, or concern. And we also take a proactive approach to client environments. So we're not just sitting there waiting for something to happen. We're reaching out regularly to clients and making sure that they're taking action, following best practices, and being made aware of these changes like the capacity issues before it becomes a problem.
Okay. Tell me about some of the cost optimization offerings that are available underneath the Trusted Advisor program.
Yeah, so a lot of clients are doing something now. They're, trying to do reservations or compute savings plans, and those are great first steps. But if you don't have somebody really kind of holding you accountable for the work, you're basically just going to kind of leak back into the same habits that you were in before. And so what we do with Trusted Advisor for Azure is we utilize an assessment platform that we built that gives us very detailed analytical picture of what the client is doing in every aspect of Azure, whether it be compute, storage, or networking, the three main pillars. We're making sure that the client is optimizing those resources. And I say optimize because it's not just about cost savings. We can go in and bottom dollar everything, but at the end of the day, your users are going to get very upset because everything's going to run terribly slow. So we really get to know the client workloads, and we help architect based on best performance, best practices, and then of course value, lowest cost possible, while still maintaining performance.
So the TrustedTech's Trusted Advisor program, you help your clients address some of those Azure capacity issues, but also some of the cost focus as well.
Right, so it's multifaceted in that we're not just going in and answering questions. We're taking a very proactive approach at what the client is actually doing in Azure, and we're making sure that they're leveraging all of the best available platforms, services, products that Microsoft's offering, while doing that at the most affordable way possible through optimization, not just on cost, but we also look at security. Breaches are getting more and more expensive every day, and clients really don't focus on Azure resource security. And we walk into some situations where clients have things exposed out to the internet, and it's just a matter of time. And so we help clients kind of address those proactively. Every single month we're meeting with clients, reviewing where they were, where they're at, and then where we want to be next month. And this is an ongoing kind of continuous optimization process.
Doesn't Microsoft offer some of these same services themselves? How does this differ from what Microsoft offers directly?
So Microsoft is going to give you Azure Advisor. And Azure Advisor is really great at giving you a baseline amount of information and then also trying to sell you something. And that's what really sets us apart is we're going to advocate for our clients. We're going to make sure that they're doing things right for their workloads and what they're doing in the cloud, not necessarily what Microsoft or whoever else is saying you should be doing. Because at the end of the day, the goal for Microsoft is to grow their product. They want it to get bigger, more popular. At the end of our day, we want to make sure that our clients are in the best position to utilize those resources without having this crazy ramping exponential spend creep.
Can you make this a little crunchier for me? I mean, it sounds great, but can you give me an example of potentially a customer, which you can anonymize, of course,
right,
but that you've done some work for and that you found a significant amount of savings available?
Yeah, so on average, just our average savings is probably somewhere between 20 and 30% on Azure. Some clients are doing a lot of great things already, so we might end up below that. Some clients have been a little naughty, and we have to go in and perform a lot more work to get them more optimized, but then their percentage creeps up. I worked with a client recently. Their Azure spend was probably around $500,000 a year, which is pretty average for a lot of our clients. We netted them approximately $141,000.
That's not approximately, that's a very specific number.
Yeah, okay, you're right, sorry. I'm speaking specifically generally. But our record, and this is something I tell clients a lot, I managed to work through a combination of cost optimization, right sizing, orphaned resource cleanup, all of this stuff. Pretty significant enterprise client. We saved them $2.5 million a year in their Azure spend. And not one of their workloads suffered. They all ran at the same level, if not better performance than before they met me. So I'm very proud of that one. I would like to someday exceed that. I think we can do it here at TrustedTech. But that's the record to date. So yeah, and the average savings, it doesn't have to be a massive Azure spend, because the strategies that we employ for a $10 million yearly spend are the same ones we do for a $10,000 spend.
Okay, so I'm a TrustedTech customer and I want to get this process started. What do I do?
Well, first of all, great decision. You're with the right company. Secondly, talk to your account manager, talk to your account rep, and then they will connect you with my team on the Azure team. And what we typically do is we offer clients a free cost optimization report. This is an assessment process, so it's not just a quick thing we're gonna shoot out and wish you luck. You're gonna work with one of our architects to actually assess the environment as it stands today.
They look directly at my environment?
Your environment, yeah. So
If it's free, it's for me, man.
Exactly. So what they're going to then do is take a look at all the resources that are in place, how they're configured. And this is all at the high metadata level, so we're not exfiltrating. It's all read-only. That's really important to stress. And then from there, we build our cost optimization report, and that basically paints a roadmap for the client. That tells them what do the next 12 months look like and how much can you expect to actually be saving in Azure. And that's when we can really drive home that 20 to 30%. It means nothing unless we can back it up with results. And that's what we do. And then from there, we talk to clients about what Trusted Advisor looks like for them. And then we start working with them on a weekly or on a monthly basis.
Nice. Well, it sounds like it's a really easy way to get started.
It's very simple and it's free, which clients really like.
Yeah. Who doesn't like free?
Right? Exactly.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us on this episode of Microsoft Playbook. And thank you, Lance. Appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure, Tipper, anytime.
Yeah. We'll catch you on the next one.